मेरो नाम Bibhusan Bista. Professionally, I'm a software entrepreneur. I've been running software companies for the past 20 years. And KCM ma चाहिँ म अलिकति part-time faculty को रूपमा, plus I help the college design new courses. I conduct classes on entrepreneurship र information technology को यो नयाँ courseहरू चाहिँ मैले design गर्न help गरेको. अनि KCM मा चाहिँ there are traditionally it has been a BBA college offering BBA programs to students, but I think recently हामीले चाहिँ KCM बाट चाहिँ BSc Bachelor of Science in Information Technology र Bachelor of Science in Computer and Data Science पनि नयाँ programs पनि offer गर्दैछ. Okay, we're living in a world where data is the gold, right? So हामीले data जे पनि काम गर्छौं data को driven हुन्छ. अहिले artificial intelligence, machine learning, different toolsहरू हेर्दाखेरि it's all about making use of data, and this is where it's very, very important that students are prepared with skills that sets them apart to actually make the meaningful use of data. And this is the program that helps people do that, right? So your program, it's not just about theoretical basis, it's about practical aspects of how to crunch data, how to interpret data, how to analyze data, and how to feed the data in a format to the machine so that it can interpret it better. So त्यो हिसाबले हामीले data science मा चाहिँ course मा चाहिँ basics of data देखि लिएर extreme level मा artificial intelligence र machine learning सम्म चाहिँ we cover that. यो program मा चाहिँ हामीले we're trying to take it differently by offering real life को problems हरुलाई चाहिँ data science को approach बाट कसरी solve गर्न सकिन्छ. For example, so students might pick up a problem area, let's say agriculture in Nepal, right? So अहिले farmers हरुले चाहिँ proper pricing पाइरहेको छैन, vegetables market ma ramroसँग गइरहेको छैन. If that is the problem, then हाम्रो data science को students हरुले चाहिँ त्यो problem लाई diagnose गर्दा what is the data that is available in different format from the government records, market research बाट, अरु secondary sources बाट भएको varied sources of data लाई एक ठाउँमा ल्याउनुहुन्छ. त्यसपछि त्यो data लाई चाहिँ how do you connect that to a pattern, how do you establish a pattern so that you can see anomalies, हैन? त्यसलाई चाहिँ डेटालाई चाहिँ प्याटर्नमा एस्टाब्लिश गर्ने र त्यसपछि त्यहाँबाट त्यसले फर्दर डेटालाई एनालाइज गरेर एन्ड दिज आर द रिजन्स एन्ड दिज आर द सोल्युसन्स द्याट सुड बी प्रोभाइडेड टु द फार्मर्स भनेर एउटा सानो प्रब्लम स्टेटमेन्टलाई लिएर द इन्टायर स्पेक्ट्रम अफ डेटा साइन्स चाहिँ युज हुन्छ. So that is a perfect example of how students would be prepared. So त्यो गर्दै बेलामा उहाँहरूले डेटालाई एनालाइज गर्न सिक्नुहुन्छ, डेटालाई कोड गर्न सिक्नुहुन्छ, त्यसमा प्रोग्रामिङ र एप्लिकेशन्स डेभलप गर्न सिक्नुहुन्छ भने at the same time they will also be talking about how do you take the results coming out of data to the real world that can then be used to solve to actually implement the problem that we are trying to solve. So if you look at things right now, हामीले 4 वर्षमा जे पढ्छौं, right? Second year सम्म पढेको चिज will already be obsolete by the time you graduate. So in that sense, हामीले के टुल्सहरु पढ्छौं भन्दा पनि I think we are trying to kind of curate a course where students will have that an aptitude to continuously learn, right? So data science, for example, as a programming language ko रूपमा चाहिँ we might use Python, right? So Python use गरेर different frameworks हरु use गरेर चाहिँ हामी we might be developing tools, solutions that interpret data, right? But at the same time, as of मैले बोल्दा पनि there will be newer technologies that has been introduced. So what we prepare our students is to adopt the latest technology तर त्यसको fundamental basis चाहिँ clear भएर then students will have that aptitude to kind of navigate through the technological uncertainty. Right? At the same time, they will have a foundational skills to make sure that they can very well grasp newer technologies that's coming up, right? So in that sense, we are trying to develop data aptitude among the students, and it's not just about tools and technologies. Tools and technologies would be considered means to an end, and students will have that aptitude to actually make use of the technology to advance their career forward. So what happens in data science is मैले डेटाको स्पेक्ट्रममा बसेर नेपालमा जे स्टडी गर्छु, that context might be, although the technological frameworks and theoretical models will be the same AI र डेटाको कुरामा, तर practical aspectमा चाहिँ मैले नेपालमा बसेर गर्ने चिज would be very different from what is being done in the US or in Southeast Asia. So in that sense, I think our students are fortunate enough to have access to the Thai ecosystem through Siam University, where they will be spending a semester in Thailand. And in that sense, I think it's very important that people will have a contextual knowledge of two different contexts, one from Nepal and one from Thailand. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ the way you approach the problem, the way you look at the ecosystem, the way you look at the solution that would be widely accepted is going to be different. In that sense, I think it's a golden opportunity for students because you'll be learning in two different contexts, two different markets, and two different ecosystems. Bachelor of Science in Computer and Data Science is a course that's kind of lies in between of, even if students want to pursue their academic career forward with master's degree leading to PhD, this actually prepares the theoretical foundation that is required, right? But at the same time, it is absolutely critical that students have the industry experience, and this course in itself prepares students for, emerging and existing professional career. So for example, our students can be taking roles like data analyst, machine learning engineer, data scientist, system analyst, application developer, but everything would revolve around playing with data, analyzing data, and kind of interpreting data, right? So there is enough roles for our students to take their career forward. And at the same time, with newer things coming up, I think students will be prepared with the foundational basics that would help them to learn things further and again take their career forward. Okay, if you are a student who want to pursue their career or study data, AI and data science, I would really recommend you to first dive into yourself and why is it that you want to do that, right? Is it because you want to have a sound academic career? Is it because you think this is a hype? But at the same time, I would really recommend you to look into the internal aspects of why do you want to do it, right? For example, I am a student in Nepal and I see that data is being used everywhere. So I want to be a problem solver. That maybe one situation, the other context might be that, I want to be in a career that's always top in the game, right? So whatever it is, first you need to internalize yourself. Why do you want to do that? Second, learning happens internally, right? So universities, colleges हरूले चाहिँ courses offer गर्ने एउटा structured format मा हुन्छ, तर you shape the learning by yourselves. And these days, students have abundant availability of tools, technologies, even outside of the classroom, right? So in that case, what I would really recommend is do a plan, right? These are the things that I want to study and these are the things that I'm interested in. And त्यसलाई चाहिँ classroom को learning मा गएर question गर्न सक्ने, discuss गर्न सक्ने भयो भने, that is when you will succeed. Because as I said, half of what you study by the time you graduate will already be obsolete. So in that sense, you have to prepare yourself, redefine the path, and immerse yourself into the world of data science. If you can do that, I'm sure you'll be succeeding a lot.